Right, and now just to put this to both of you, particularly to you, Liam, they've just been able to give 100 grand a week to Jesse Lingard, who isn't a starter. Now that's sort of in the context of Arsenal and what kind of money Arsenal are prepared to pay. That's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, well, the boy is a talent, and I think anytime he has played for Manchester United, he has produced, but he falls into that category. Well, as you say, he's not a regular starter, and I don't think the manager has a regular starters in that team apart from Ibrahimovic. He seems to be chopping and changing all the time.
And Pogba.
But yeah, there is an indication of how powerful Manchester United are and how far they're prepared to go. To get themselves back on top of the pile, but whether it's good policy or not remains to be seen. Because this is the third manager since Ferguson went. And they're not, and none of them have brought Manchester United the results they expected.
John, as a former Manchester United player, the expectation there is huge, and rightly so. But looking at the list of players I have in front of me, Darmian, Herrera, Rojo, Blind, Martial, Lingard, I don't see those guys in a championship winning team, much less contending in any serious way for the Champions League.
Well, there's more than the players you mentioned.
Okay, I'll throw in small.
Well, I know the players you're talking about, but I mean, if they get one or two, we've sort of spoken about this just now. Get two or three players in, and we can make a difference to the whole lot. I think Lingard is a very, very promising. Rashford is very, very promising. I think Herrera is a good player. Pogba would be a good player. Fellaini's okay. There's a lot of players there. If they're knitted together with one or two other players, become better players themselves. I think a lot of those players have talent. There's a lot of there you haven't. They've been overrated players, but there is talent in that squad. And I think it's Mourinho's job to get the best of it, whether it be one or two signings that would knit them all together. But I think there is talent there.
What about Liam's point that he doesn't really have the patience or inclination, your point as well, to work with young players?
Well, that's bad management, Eamon. I think that's what Liam is saying. That despite the fact, or they're not in the top five or the top four as you would expect, you have to look at Mourinho's case. Now, I think Mourinho's, when he's criticising Rashford and these players, Eamon, gets back to my first point. He won't take any blame for it. He'll always spread the blame around, which is not doing those players, whether it be Luke Shaw or Lingard or Rashford or Mkhitaryan any good.
Or Martial.
Any of them. I don't think. If you look at Fergie was a great manager, and he's had to give them a dressing down in the dressing room and all that. But I don't remember Ferguson criticising any of his players publicly.
No. That was a no-go area. Okay.
No-go.
Yeah, very much so in Ferguson's case. But I agree with you, Liam, when you say that he was a bad fit. I thought he was a bad fit for United. For a number of reasons. One, his behaviour, which appears to have he's calmed down in the last couple of months, but he was kicking more.
He's only had 2 bans from the touchline.
Yeah, but he was.
The managers go through their career never getting banned.
Yeah,
so he's had 2 bans this season, but admittedly, lately he's calmed down a bit. But I wouldn't be surprised if he goes again, because it's coming to the crunch time now, isn't it? He's both in the Europa League and in the race for the top 4. I thought when he got knocked out of the semi-final, or he got knocked out of the FA Cup, the quarter-final against Chelsea, he talked a load of rubbish, like saying Pogba was the best player on the park and things like that.
Yeah.
So he still comes out with mad things, I don't know. One of the players that was interested, he was mentioned, was Eric Dyer in, going to Old Trafford.
That's right,
in that piece, yeah. Now,
a midfield
I don't think if John's on about a constructive midfield player or a playmaker in midfield, I don't think he fits the bill at all. So I agree with John that they haven't had they haven't had a guy who runs the midfield since Scholes left, have they?
No.
And they haven't had an enforcer since Keane left.
Yeah.
And they're the kind of players that make a midfield. One, a creative flair who can do his stuff as well as Scholes is well able to do, and work rate and so forth. And Roy Keane, you know, a tremendous motivator of the other players. And John's right. If you get one or two of the right ones in, the real top players in, he can make all the other players play better, look better, score goals, and so forth. And it's up to Mourinho and Woodward to come up with a solution.
Okay.